After Avery's first season of Pee Wee football, on his 10th birthday, he was diagnosed with an aggressive cancer called Burkitt's lymphoma.
I remember when the doctor told me that I had cancer, and she told me that the treatment was going to take 4 months. That's a long time.
Avery was treated at Columbia Presbyterian by Dr. Michael Weiner.
I got to know him about 7 or 8 years ago, and he was diagnosed with cancer. Part of his treatment for cancer involved bone marrow aspirates, biopsies, but also spinal taps. Spinal taps is where we inject medication directly into the spine, cerebrospinal fluid, which eradicates abnormal lymphoma cells that may lay dormant there. And Avery did these procedures without any anesthesia. I would take him into the treatment room, prep his back, give him a little local anesthetic, and do the procedure. This was quite unusual for a young man his age.
After my treatment, I played football for my second year, tackle football, and it was my best year I ever had. I scored a lot of touchdowns.
From the time that I found out that Avery had gone through the cancer and had fought back and went on to play football, he became a hero of mine, because any kid that can play with the heart that he has and the soul that he has for this game is an absolute great thing for him and his family.
His ability to play after being diagnosed with cancer is what motivates me and other members on the team to do better every day and not take anything for granted.
Avery's one of those kids that no matter what life's thrown at him, he's always able to overcome adversity and do it kind of with a smile and just this determination that he's going to be back no matter what it takes, no matter how much effort he has to put in.
I remember noticing Avery when he came up in 9th grade. I mean, that was one of the most amazing things.
My nickname for him is USB. He's the unstoppable back. He went out there and he scored an 87-yard touchdown. So it's just the mindset of Avery is he never stops going. He always pushes himself. He's never going to take a play off, and he inspires his teammates not by what he says, but it's by what he does on the field and what he does off the field.
His sophomore year, when he had that high ankle sprain and he was on crutches and in a boot and was out for anywhere for 3 to 4 weeks, and he was doing pull-ups with the boot on, and there was a lot of guys that were just, half-assing the workout that they were given. And then once they saw Avery doing this, especially as a sophomore, they realized that I can't be that way, and I have to give it my all too, because that's the only way this team's gonna get better.
He makes me want to wake up in the morning and give him 110% every time I come to the office. He makes me want to have everything perfect, everything ready to go, because he gives me 120% every day.
You can't ask for more from Avery Hoffman. He busts his butt, he plays through injuries. I don't think he's ever fumbled the ball since I've been here. A complete leader on the field, coach on the field, but he's way beyond his years. Avery's a special kind of kid.
Even as a Pop Warner Pee Wee, Avery has always motivated and inspired his teammates to be better.
We were about 10 years old, and the Hoffmans would invite the family over, and we'd watch the film, and Avery would give his analysis of whether we should run inside, outside.
Avery's a great leader because, even today, I didn't have a great first half, and I was kind of down on myself. Avery just quietly took me aside and said, just do this one thing for me, and I'll give my all for you. And that meant a lot to me, and I had a way better second half. And that inspired me.
About the first 2 weeks of practice, and one of our freshmen, Diego Torres, was getting his butt kicked pretty hard. He got hit after hit after hit. Avery just kind of, subtle Avery, well done's better than well said. He didn't really speak, too loud. He always led by example. And I noticed he came up to Diego and said, I was just like you my freshman year. I got my butt kicked every day. Keep your head up and keep working. And I thought that went a long way for Avery and Diego. So, he's a leader on the field.
It's the time he takes with the underclassmen and the time he takes to guide them through what football is and what football means. This team is so much different without him, and I'm not even talking about his athletic ability. It is just his personality, his leadership, his heart.
Avery's always the first guy on the field for practice and the last guy off. We'd all do anything for him. We wear gold socks in September in honor of Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month for Avery.
out of 40 guys voting for captain, Avery was selected as one of the captains. He was a junior, and all 40 guys voted for him. Unprecedented, and I think it speaks volumes to his character. We've never really seen a junior athlete get a unanimous vote, especially on a team made up of 17 seniors.
Avery proved he was a leader here on this field, actually. We were tied with Fieldston at the end of the game. We were down on the goal line, and Avery brought everybody in and talked about the play that we were going to run. And his leadership got us into the end zone.
The game came down to a 4th and 1. It was who was the bigger heart, who's going to get that one yard, and that's when we saw the character of our team came out. We all came together in the huddle. Everyone looked at the guy next to them and said, "I'm going to do it for you," and that's what I love about football.
So Avery actually got hurt a little bit during the game. He hurt his ankle. We weren't sure if he was going to be able to come back, but luckily he stuck through the game. Our coach counted on him, and he helped us get a win over our biggest rivals and to secure King of the Hill for the 2nd time in a row.
In the third, fourth quarter, he sprained his ankle and he just said, "Tape it," and I'm going back out there. I mean, the grit and the perseverance of this kid is just unmatched.
So we have both thumbs have been banged up, fingers and hands are really swollen, sprained right knee, kind of hyperextended, dislocated my left knee, high ankle sprain on my right ankle, but feel good right now.
After the final game of the season, Gus Ornstein, former NFL quarterback and coach of the rival team, was complimentary.
Unfortunately, I've had to coach against this guy for the last 4 years, and he's beaten me way too many times. I just want to say he's an unbelievable football player and even a better kid. And I know we're certainly going to miss him in some ways. We won't miss playing against him, but we'll miss what he does for the game and what he does for Riverdale.
Avery epitomizes what a scholar athlete is. He is smart, well-read, insightful, deeply curious about things academic and intellectual.
He's been taking just about the hardest courses that Riverdale offers. But what has particularly struck me about Avery happened over the summer when we talked about what courses he was going to take this year, and he signed up for his usual honors math, honors science, and we talked about electives, and he said, "I want to take this gender history course." He's the only boy in our senior year gender history elective, and he talked about his role as a leader on these male sports teams. He said, "I think I need to think about gender. If I'm going to be a leader of boys sports teams and men's sports teams, they are faced with questions about gender all the time, and I want to be able to respond to anything I'm going to be faced with in the future."
He's incredibly supportive of other kids, both on the football field and in the classroom. Avery shows up every day in the classroom, ready to work, prepared, and he may be hurting from head to foot. He may be bruised, beaten up, aching, but like a kid with all the heart he has, he never complains.
When Avery was 11, he became the national spokesperson for the Hope and Heroes Children's Cancer Fund, a charity that funds research and treatment for kids suffering from cancer.
Mike Brown, I'm one of the founders of Hope and Heroes. I'm so glad to have Avery Hoffman here. For the last 6 years, he's been involved in our charity. It was great to see him as the MC tonight. He did a wonderful job. He's a great kid, and we're so glad to have him.
I'm proud I was treated at Columbia. This all inspires me to continue to do what I can do to help. I remember the fear when I heard the words, "You have cancer." But I am one of the lucky ones. Cancer-free for almost 8 years now. We all need to keep doing our part so that all kids can survive. Since its inception, Hope and Heroes raised over $60 million, which is pretty amazing. Some of that money gets designated for specific purpose, like research, integrative therapies, or greatest needs. But money raised tonight goes to general use.
You know, I have some football records as well. So in one game, I rushed for 4 hot dogs, 4 cheesesteaks, and 4 beers. That was just in the first quarter. I know you're trying to outdo me, but I've done that as well. But I want to thank Avery, so please give him a big round.
Avery gives back to his community and has spoken all over the country. He has helped raise millions of dollars to help sick children.
My work with Hope and Heroes is only the beginning. It's my goal in life to somehow help the fight against cancer, so one day no kid ever has to hear the words, "You have cancer." Whatever my future holds for me, I will be prepared because of everything I've learned from my family, my friends, my school, and from football.